Hello guys and welcome to a new episode of Let's Create a Melody. I just finished creating pretty much a tutorial on how to create a supercell stab with Spire and the Evolution of Sound episode 4, I believe it was. And we created this. So if you guys want to learn how to create that, you can go check it out on that episode. But for this episode, we're going to be utilizing this sound, which are called supercell stabs, in order to create another melody. So this time we're going to be using the F scale, and the F scale is a very popular scale as well as the G minor that we did earlier. So we're going to be using an F minor, and we're going to be creating another Bigroom sort of type melody. So what we're going to be doing is again starting with our F, and we're going to go to the third, which is going to be our G. For this one, I'm going to try and get a little bit more musical theory involved, as in we're not going to keep it just, dull, same, going down the scale or something. We're going to change the top notes a bit to create more interesting chord structures. So as always, first things to do is to find a rhythm that you really like, or maybe you have a melody in your head already. Right now I currently do not have one, so I am going to have to kind of just wing this. So hopefully we can get something that sounds good. Usually I'm just using past knowledge of melodies I've created to make sure this sounds pretty good. So let's try this. So this one would sound kind of neat. Just make sure they're on the same page here. So I don't think they're not. I am kind of tired. So same rhythm. Let's see how it sounds like. Okay, so let's do that. Cool. So, and let's increase the length to 4 bars there. Okay. Half and then another half, and then from there we can start going somewhere. So we're gonna use this this rhythm in order to advance our melody. So dun 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 and so forth. And let's put it an octave higher. I'm gonna go into Spire and put the polyphony up since we're losing some Okay, cool. So let's see. I'm going to be playing my piano right now to kind of find the next note I want to use. So. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and play a melody with my keyboard real fast, just so I don't waste your time. Dun, 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 dun. Let's go down. And we're going to try and go here. That should be good. So let's get the third of this, D. So it's going to be 1. So someone asked how I count my notes, and pretty much the way I count them is just you count that note that you're counting. So here we have 1, and pretty much we're using the F scale. So the F scale is going to allow you to play F, G, G sharp, A sharp, C, C sharp, D sharp, and back to F. And this is my version of it. You can also use F, G, F sharp, A sharp, C, D, D sharp, and F. So it's up to you guys what you guys want to do. All I'm going to say is when you use the D instead of a D sharp, it sounds a little bit more happy. So that's pretty much the trade-off there. So let's see. We're going to pretty much get this. So we're going to count this one 1. We're going to go to the next note in the scale, which is F. That's 2. And then our next note is going to be the G. So that's going to be our third. So we're going to put that up. And next we're going to get this one, the third. So 1, 2, 3, up. And finally this one, which is going to be the F. It's going to be our third. We're going to put it an octave up. And there we go. Alright, so this is not going to sound kind of Bigroomish. This is just going to be another type of riff. And pretty much what we're going to do is start changing the top notes. So let's try and do this. So let's go down to F. And then we'll come back up to this. We'll do this and then come here. And let me try and fix that glitchy kind of sound real fast. Hopefully this helps. Still doing it. Come on. Don't let me down. Alright, so there. We have it a little bit better. So now let's get to it. So here we have this. Dun 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 dun. Okay, so I think I'm gonna put this to G, and I'm gonna repeat this phrase here. A good melody will always have something that repeats, and the reason for that is because melodies tend to be really simple. A lot of people make fun of David Guetta for having really simple melodies, but honestly, the simpler the better. You don't want anything complex. I mean, you don't see people humming Mozart's melodies because they're too complex. I mean, you see levels, you're like, it's so simple, but it's catchy, and that's pretty much what you want with this kind of melody here. And we're gonna go G sharp, and then G G. And we're gonna repeat this here. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the third of these. So this is we're gonna get to a little bit more technical. So pretty much the idea of harmonization is that your third, your fifth, and your seventh are always gonna sound good with your whatever note you're playing. So if we have an F, the third of F is going to be G, so G and F are always going to sound good. The fifth of F is going to be C, so F and C are always going to sound good. So let's say you have a melody and you put it up a third, all of the melody, it's still going to sound the same, but it's going to have more harmony to it. It's hard to explain, but we're going to do that right now. So since our chords go really high, we're going to compensate by putting these up a third. So the third of G sharp is going to be the C. The third of this one, which is going to be our G, is going to be the A sharp, and then this one's going to be our G sharp. So let's gonna hear it again, and then it's gonna sound a little bit more better. And then we're gonna go back down to the normal one. Here you go, and we should be fine there. And there we have it. It sounds really catchy. And now what we're going to start doing is adding, some sort of melody to this. So let's see here. I really don't like how it goes here, So we're going to go down a third. Remember, like I said, it's always going to sound in tune as long as it's the third, the fifth, and so forth, or the same scale sometimes. So here we have a C. Let's go down. So C, 1, 2, and 3. So as you can see, it still sounds good, and now it just sounds really dull, like there's no movement. So we're gonna add some movement to this. So in here, in our first bar, you can see we changed the third note up. So in your head, you should probably do that. So you kind of want to have some resemblance between your first and your third bar, because they're the odd numbers, and even numbers you kind of want to have something similar. Remember, this is all music theory that I'm talking about. This is just kind of like theory, but it's not a law, so you technically don't need to do this. But this is the best way to kind of get melodies straight out. That honestly, the melodies you get out like this are going to sound kind of boring sometimes, because they're not humanized melodies. They're more like theorized melodies, but they still sound good, and they're a good starting point if you're stuck. Okay, so pretty much what we have there is just a standard, melody. So what we can start doing is we can add another layer on top of this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna change this last note to a D sharp here. Now, there's this thing called the resolution, and what the resolution is at the end of your melody, before you're going into your build up, you want to do a resolution, and pretty much we did it here. And what the resolution is, it's just going back down to the root note. As you can can see I added the D sharp here, so you hear that done, so you're expecting another note, which is going to be back to what we had, and the melody is going to repeat. But if you wanted to end the melody here, all you have to do is just put it in F. And that's it. It sounds complete. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower this down to D sharp and just have it repeat. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to open up a new Spire. And what I'm going to do is select my bank that I released with Shockwave. And I'm going to be using the Armin van Buuren one. Where is it? This one. Let's see what it sounds like. Alright, so I'm going to change this, and I'm going to use the top. I'm just going to change, get these and put them to 0. So now they're not going to be played. Okay, cool. So now we have pretty much the top melody already. So now we're going to change these notes here. Alright, so we're going to add a little bit. So since we're going to be using theory here, what I can do is put the F up to a G and have it here around there at the halfway point. Let's see, where was that? There. So we're going to put it at F. And then we're going to put this F to the 5th, so it's going to be here. And this G, 1, 2, 3, there. We're going to move this up to C, which is the 3rd. And hopefully I don't go too fast for you guys. And let's move this to the 3rd as well. See, dun, 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 dun. And we're gonna go down the scale to here. I don't like the way this one's sounding, so what I'm gonna do is move it up here. Don't like that one either. So what we did here is we just added more harmony to it. So if you hear this without this. Are we at it? And to end this, you probably do another duplication, and we're gonna add another sound. So let's see what else we can get here. Trying to find a good sound. I believe this one should work, just super solid. Let's see what we can do here. So so I liked what I just did there, so I'm just adding some, some layers there so it doesn't sound so plain. So we're gonna add another simple melody, which is just a simple going up the scale with the F. It's too fast. Let's have it there, and then we'll do here. There we go. We're gonna make this 4 bars, so it is already 4 bars. So just do that, and we're going up the scale with this one. Let's make sure we can hear it. That's too fast. Let's see. Maybe there. Yeah, it should be it. Pretty much duplicate this. Oops. Fucking hate this. Control D. Fuck. Excuse my language. Control D. And we're gonna just move these top notes here. So alright, so there we have it. So that would be a simple melody. Obviously, honestly, this wouldn't be a melody that we use in one of my tracks. Mainly because I've been making a lot of Bigroom lately, and this would probably fit it. But Bigroom tends to be a little bit less complex, and what I mean by that is that the melodies just tend to stay in one note most of the time, and then it changes like every 3 notes or something. But hopefully this is kind of helpful for you guys in teaching you guys how to get a sense of melodies and a sense of theory. And from there, you can create so many different types of melodies. This is the way I started before I started creating my own melodies through a piano. See, like if I were to play it in a piano, I could come up with a really simple Bigroom melody really fast. Something like that. So it's a little bit different, a little bit of a different work, but it doesn't matter how you do it, as long as you get that idea from your head into your program, your DAW. So hopefully this tutorial was helpful for you guys. Make sure to like the video. That to me shows that you guys are interested in these type of videos. Generally, if people don't like a video or a new series, I tend to just stop making it. So if you guys like it, make sure to like it, share it with your friends, and we'll see what we do for next tutorial. But I know we're going to steer away from the Trance Rift, and we're going to try and make something similar to, maybe blaster jacks or something like that. So I'll see you guys next time.